I'm Danielle Stobbs and I'm the Program Lead for Grief Support Services here at Pilgrims Hospice. So I oversee all the programming here, from our men's cooking group to our adult programming, right the way through to our children, teen and family program.
Yeah, I'm Greg Yanda. I'm a project manager here in town.
Let's start.
Yeah.
I'm Chris.
And Jamie Wilson.
My wife passed away in 2010. She took her own life. And so in dealing with that, I realized I had a 9-year-old child. My daughter's name is Emily. And I didn't know how she was dealing with things because I knew I was in some pretty severe crisis. So I was looking for a place that she could start to deal with whatever I was dealing with.
We live in Edmonton, and we got informed of this group and decided to reach out, decided to give it a try. Because we had initially started something else, more family counseling, but it just wasn't the right fit. So then we decided to give this a try based on a recommendation.
Children, Teen and Family, well, I say they're all my favourite programs, but Children, Teen and Family is special, and I love it in that it provides grief care for the whole family in one sitting.
I couldn't find any programs, but somebody at her school mentioned Pilgrims Hospice name, so I phoned here, and they said, come on down.
We started the group work in April. It was an 8-week program.
There'll be 3 rooms that are running. One room will have the adults, so that could be the surviving spouse, could be the grandparent that's now raising the children. Another room will be for the children, and another room will be for the teens. And essentially they're all receiving grief care that's based on their age. And of course it still looks unique and different in all their varied ways. But in the adults room, it's important that they receive grief support for themselves, but they're also receiving support in what grief could look like for a teenager, what it could look like for a child.
It was a weeknight, once a week night program for expressive arts for grieving children. And so I took my daughter here.
They do the activities based on which group you're in, like age appropriate activities. So the 2 of us did adult, and then our 2 youngers, Harper and Lachlan, did the children's group.
And those conversations are important to have, because some of them are out kind of lost at sea going, I'm struggling, they're struggling, I don't know if they're struggling, am I doing the right thing, am I doing it wrong? There's so much, so many questions and so many people worried that they're not doing grief right.
It was interesting because every single kid in that particular camp had lost a parent. And that was the really unique part, because that's not always the case.
We lost our daughter during holidays in Mexico in January.
She was 14 when she passed.
It was kind of just a rough patch, and it was still kind of fresh, but we knew we needed some support and to reach out for something. So we decided to give it a try, and just to help with even getting it out there or learning about support, and trying a lot for the kids too, just trying to get them to help them process it.
Without being here, I don't know if I would have had any help, but there wouldn't have been any help. I didn't know how to deal with anything. There was nobody really to talk to. None of my friends were going through it. Nobody was going through it. And when I came here, everybody was dealing with it at that moment. They were all going through it, and you could feel their pain. I know they could feel mine, and it was an ability to unload, and let somebody else hear what was going on, somebody who really understood, because they felt your pain.
This program, and I said it before, I believe saved our family.
I got to sit, and they would throw pens and papers, crayons on the table, and we would talk. And every one of the people, everybody around that table had lost somebody, whether it was a spouse or a child or whatever. They had all lost somebody, and so I felt really fortunate to be around that table. And I found I did a lot of healing myself just sitting there with them and talking back and forth. So
to just give them a moment to express that out loud, to know that they're not alone. That's why peer support is so important, because then another mum across the room goes, oh, I've been feeling the same, or another one goes, oh, you know, my child really does jump from emotion to emotion, and sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad, and there's camaraderie in the room. Like, I'm not alone anymore. This is quite typical. It's not just my family that's having a hard time. And then the children in a space where they can explore their grief through play and art and conversation and games and activities, and we can get down on their level and let them have their chance to move through their own grief process. And then teens, the same thing. I think that what I always hope for is that there's those on the ride home conversations in the car of what did you do in your group, and if they feel free to share, it might initiate connection again, connection with their family, that what happens here is a moment, but that it could cultivate something within their family for them to be able to express themselves with one another and grieve together and find this new life and this new path together as well. That's always my hope with this program. So that's why I think it's special to have all three rooms running at one time, but also at their level exploring their grief, and then how it might look to go back into the family unit and bring it back together and connect in their grief, because healing comes from being together, from being seen and heard.
I was afraid to come to group sessions. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know what to expect. I thought you just sit in a circle and talk, like, you know, complain, I guess, or talk about your problems. It was all about connecting with people. It was all about sharing stories or bouncing ideas off of each other. If you didn't know how to handle a situation, maybe somebody else had some advice for you. It was a good group.
you never ever feel like you're a burden. The idea that that my daughter and I could get all of this healing and it doesn't cost us anything, which is, I have enough means to make good donations, but people who don't, that's so important. So anybody's welcome here, and that's probably one of the best things I love about it. And when I look around this room here and I see the hands, the original hospice before this one was built, all the kids' hands were on the walls all over the room. And, I would go in and see my kid's hand in 2 or 3 different places. And so when I look around here and I see all of those kids, no matter what their means, no matter what they're going through, they can just come here and be safe and hopefully feel like that things will get better for them.
Animal therapy was part of it. They did bring a dog in, and then they brought in somebody that talked about music.
Yeah, the music was a interesting dynamic about how
it reconnects, reshifts your thinking.
Yeah, it can help you with your grief through your journey. Different types of music, sad music, happy music, it's just music that helps. Or there's memories you associate with music, good memories. That one was really interesting.
Hudson loved music. She was the first one to find out concerts were on and would beg you to buy tickets to everything and anything.
She always has her headphones on. She was always listening to music, but it helped her.
Supported big bands, little bands. It didn't matter. It was everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the music one.
We had a couple of children. They were a sibling group. Their father had died, and they were quite shy and quiet. And it can be a very intimidating thing. As much as this room is beautiful, some children may have been told that they're coming. They didn't have any autonomy over what they're in. And so they came to this group, and I'm not saying that was the case here, but they came into the group quite quiet and felt a little bit awkward. And as we saw them navigate through the group, using art-based activities as well can really formulate connection and regulate the nervous system, a sense of calm. We use yoga, we use breathing activities, we use mindfulness. it helped them ease into the program. And when our pet therapy dog comes, that's always quite lovely. And by the end of it, we were having harder conversations. That we have conversation prompts through games. And some of the questions were around the circumstance of the death, or questions that they might have about death or dying, or what that, maybe questions that they haven't felt they could ask because they don't want to upset mum and dad. I think they'd asked a question about how they were involved in the planning of their dad's funeral and what he would wear. And they opened up about a story about how they picked superhero clothing for their dad to wear in his coffin because they found it very strange that dad would be in a suit when he never wore a suit. And it was a beautiful moment to see them be able to open up and share something that's really difficult. Talking about a parent that has died, let alone the logistics of a parent in a coffin, is very jarring. But yet they came at it with such peace that they were allowed to be part of this journey. And so they incorporated that into our memory quilts, which we have hanging over on the wall there. Every child will make a memory quilt that a volunteer seamstress will put together at the end of the group. And so they had patches of their dad's superhero t-shirts over this quilt, and at the end of the program the seamstress puts it together, and then the parent came back with them to pick it up. And the mum was in tears because she had seen the ways in which they were able to continue that bond with their father through the program, while also being able to talk about hard things, and then had this legacy piece that they got to take away with them as well.
I feel like it maybe gave us strategies on how to help the kids, help them through their grief, help them maybe navigate whereabouts they are, what to do, how to... They're so young. Harper is 11 and Lachlan is 8. They helped make a quilt here through the program with some favorite things, but then they also gave teddy bears, and they both have latched to those teddy bears, and that means that's their connection to here plus to their sister.
And I think their experiences here were probably beneficial too, because they got to see other kids going through the similar circumstances and similar feelings. And I could tell that after the session, like the next day at home, where their safe space is, we'd catch some feelings, right? But it was good. It was coming out, so it was part of the journey, and I think it was good. And they enjoyed coming.
They liked their friends.
And some of the activities they did, and yeah, they even did a couple of the drop-ins over the summer.
It's been 15 years, and the bottom line is I never forget. A special thing in my heart is Pilgrims Hospice, and being able to give back to them when I can. In my life, I'm pretty stable now, but the things I learned, I think, here were really valuable for me, and it helped keep me stable and sustainable, and I think it helped my kid a lot.
It just kind of gave us an insight into what to kind of expect.
Age-appropriate responses
And
to
behavior,
the trauma.
and everyone expresses it differently, which is part of the learning too. And so, when you get those different emotions at home, it can be a little more okay. Having that knowledge and having that awareness of what to expect, or if this happens, it's part of the normal process. Listening to others in the group with their stories and how their kids were behaving at home in similar fashions and stuff, it made it all kind of make sense a little bit.
Yeah, we weren't singled out.
Helps normalize these feelings and grief, and that you don't have to just stuff it away and move on. It's a good healing process, I think.
Children, teens and adults alike all move at their own pace. There's no timeline on grief, there's no one size fits all, and our curriculum is about giving you options to move through your grief at that pace, not this is how it needs to be done, and you've got to meet these markers or these 5 stages, and then you can wrap it in a bow, and good, you're done, well done, and you get a certificate at the end. I sometimes wish it was that simple, and it's just not.
I still have a picture of my wife, my daughter, and I on a coffee table, and my grief journey I suppose it'll never end, but it's not all grief anymore. But a lot of it is because of places like this, because I was willing to, to be able to talk about it, I guess.
We will be coming back here. We definitely will be coming back here.
All I know is I love this place, and I do want to always tell people about this place, and if I could give every my penny to this place, I would. Yeah.